Hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome to IGP101 episode 7. 7. Look at my hands, they're dirty already. Haven't even started. But yeah, we are going to be focusing on a pattern that I came across so joyfully right at the beginning of my journey when I first started learning with Adam Williamson and Richard Henry in 2013 autumn time. And I want to take you through some of the drawings because when you fall in love with these patterns, which I'm sure some of you have done already, it's really easy to just sort of like be caught up in the beauty. And even if you can't quite agree or see with the beauty, you think they're beautiful. It's like your own sort of instinct to say, that's a bit weird. That's a bit odd. You kind of ignore it. So I want to show you because my favorite phrase, if I was to have a banner going over my head, is learn to draw and learn to see. And it's really important those two go in hand in hand. And the more you draw, the better you are at seeing. Okay. So let me show you some things. If you want to chip in, join in, interrupt is the wrong word because it's just like having a bit of company for me. If you want to, please just unmute yourself, or you can just show your you can just write it in the chat as well. And this recording will end up on YouTube, so it's probably best to keep your camera off. I say it really tentatively. Okay, so I had learnt to draw this pattern, ignore this first one, with Art of Islamic pattern. And I had the cockiness in me to think that everything I'd learnt I knew off by heart in my head. So this one particular pattern and this one particular drawing really makes me laugh because I didn't take photos. I didn't take notes in the class. I'd go home and just assume I knew what was going on. So this pattern, look at me, did a little abbreviation, teacher styles, like box it, octagon it, diagonal it, Star of David it, and the pattern's done. But what I want you to notice is there's a certain proportion that is needing our closer attention. So this is known as the petal. So this whole thing is called a geometric rosette. It has a central star, it has kites, and then it has petals. We'll ignore for a second what goes beyond that. So if you look at the star, the kite, and the petals, like they're similar in size, nothing's going on. But if you just look at the petal itself, let's go round it. Long, short, long, long, short, short. It's got 3 different side lengths. And the shortness here impacts on a star we can't quite fully see. Okay, so this dodginess, we're going to pile on a few more dodginess. So basically, I started playing with these ideas of what would happen if I changed the proportion. So, this one, I don't know if you see it, I'm going to color in another shape. If you look at this petal, okay, you might see something different. So let's just go through it for a second. You've got one length here, another 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 length here. So it's got 6 sides. But what's really clever about it is this side, this side, this side, and this side. 4 of the 6 sides are the same length. Isn't that cool? So you end up with this idea that when you draw these patterns, these are all geometric rosettes, but this one, if you look at it, it's a little bit elongated. That is a style you can find in Morocco and Andalusia, but just if we take it on its own, this one is elongated. This one is quite squashed, and this one in the style of Cinderella, not Cinderella, somebody and the 3 bears, Goldilocks and 3 bears. This one is just right. And it comes from the fact that this length and this length, although it might not look it on my drawing, this length and this length are the same length. I hate the fact that my drawing is actually misleading. Let's take another one. But yeah, you can clearly see that these two are much shorter than this, and here you can see much longer than this. So you've got this idea that when you're drawing these patterns, each shape, the star having 8 equal points, the kite having 2 equal sides, another pair of equal sides, and the petals, they each have their qualities. And these are qualities that were, mastered and honed by the great minds and crafts and artisans of the past, geometers of the past. So here's another one. This time, what happens beyond it? And here, if you look just at the petal, it's quite elongated. But look at the impact on this star. This star has 1 little, 2 little, 3 little points and 2 big ones. So that kind of balance that you might get from a star is lost. Let's have a look at another one. Okay, so whenever I show you something that's hand-drawn, you've got to bear in mind that precision that is there or lacking, it belongs to me, not the design. Okay, but if you look at these, generally speaking, they're a bit more proportioned. I'm going to get to a better drawing. So here's the one that is the squishy one. Okay, so look at the petals. They're squashed. And unfortunately, this is a modern phenomena. This isn't something that is from the past. This is something that's been miscommunicated. A shortcut has enabled it to exist. And its impact is such that this star, which is so important and a feature of all the Rosette patterns, okay, it's a 5-pointed star, so it's called a pentagram. Okay, it's got 2 little and then 3 big points. And those of us who have kind of learned to see it over the years, it's like we call it a little T-Rex because it's got 2 little arms and then massive legs and the massive-ish head. So it's so interesting to me that once you see it, it really does make you not enjoy it. But let me tell you, where did I draw this pattern? I was about 3 weeks into my course with Art of Islamic Pattern. I was on holiday in Italy and I was drawing on the train. I thought it was so cool. And I sent the picture to my friends. It's one of the artists you might know, Gia Mirza, amazing talent. And she said, dude, it's wrong. And I was like, what? What? It's wrong? So she kind of explained to me the step I'd taken a shortcut with and missed. And then I drew it again. And this is the pattern we are going to draw today. Not all 4, we're going to draw one of them. There's only so much you can do in an hour, especially with me waffling on. So look at the star. Look at how all 5 points are balanced and similar in size. They are not ever, in this situation, going to be a perfect pentagram. So a perfect 5-pointed star, sorry. And the reason being, it's like you're trying to optimize balance and harmony in the situation. So if I was to draw 12-fold rosettes, ones with 12 pointed star in the middle, 12 kites, 12 petals, between them would emerge 5-pointed star. But would it be perfect? No, it would be the optimal for its situation. Where would we find a perfect 5-pointed star between rosettes? Only in the family of 10-fold patterns. I've got a whole series on 10-fold patterns, and there you do get to see a perfect pentagram between your rosettes. So remember, a rosette is a star in the middle, a central star, with kites and with petals. All the petals we're looking at have parallel sides, and with this one in particular, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 6 sides are same in length. And the impact is that then this star is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, let me just count them again. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 of its points have the same length. It's only these 2 that are actually no, there as well. They're the same. I need to measure it. Oh, it is the same length. They're all the same length. Blimey, I just spotted that. So over the years, I have drawn it again and again and again. These are some of my early examples, and sometimes I'd forget, but as you learn to see, as you do learn to draw, you get better at it. And I literally found all the examples I've got of it, and they got better. And that's an interesting thing as well, because the more you draw, the better you are at, accurately replicating the thing we're trying to do. So yeah, another one. We're going to draw this today. So I'm going to show you all my drawings. But this particular drawing that I'm holding up, there's something really interesting about this red circle. Because this red circle, when we do draw it, you'll see, we draw it before we draw this circle. So this circle contains the star. Here you can only see half of it. But this circle dictates the star, and the star dictates the pattern. So it's so interesting. We have a central 8-pointed star. We have the kite. We have the petals. But what actually determines the pattern? The stars in between. And when you have that realization, honestly, it's such a brilliant shift. Okay. I saw a question there. I'm going to answer in a second. More drawings. So when I used to teach this, I would also always I know this is one of my early ones. I recognize the pattern. So I'm a big, big believer, not just drawing once, but drawing several times so you get to know the pattern. So one of the reasons why I show you so many drawings is I didn't get here just by knowing it. No, I got here by making mistakes, drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing over and over and over, which leads me to your question. Let's get rid of this. I've got pop-ups going for some reason. Okay. How do you store all these artworks made over the years? So I store them in wallets like this. So these wallets, okay. And that means I can take a particular pattern and put them together and then get that pack out and use them like today. I also store them behind me, as you can see. I display them, and then also in books. Look at my ambitious notebook here. But I really like this one because it's actually, oh, there's a nice one in here. I just spotted it. Where did it go? So many patterns. Oh, I just saw it. It's so funny because as I look back, there's some dodgy ones as well. But yeah, I have drawn this 8-folded one several times, but this is the one we're going to draw today. What did I just see that caught my eye? Yes, look. So it's a really fun pattern, and I have drawn it many times, and this one I haven't seen in a long time. So we're going to draw this today, okay? This notebook, Sarah, is by, I think it's by, oh, there it is, C. White of Brighton. So it is 25 centimeters wide. It's hardback, and I bought it a long time ago. So C. White of Brighton is a good thing. And yeah, the paper's really nice. So definitely worth looking out for. Okay, shall we get started? So I'm going to keep my notepad here because actually this construction, normally when I'm teaching, I have my iPad next to me so you can see the steps. But I just realized it's quite cool that I have an actual handmade step-by-step here. Sorry, I'm trying to make space for it to fit in and not destroy my desk. Okay, so we are going to get started in terms of the drawing, and you're welcome. Please feel free to ask questions. It gets me, stops me waffling on. Now, the pattern we're going to draw, I'm going to suggest if you have a paper, say, for example, this size, don't do the biggest possible circle. So let me give you an idea of what I mean by that. And we will start with, why am I going for green? Whoa. Let's start with a horizontal line. So we always start with a horizontal line. I do anyway. And we mark the middle, 10.5. Okay. And once you've got that, it's about deciding the size of your circle. And your circle is going to dictate the size of the pattern. But in this case, if I just show you a few steps ahead, okay, we're going to go just outside the circle. So I'm going to show you where the circle's up to here. And here on the north, east, south, and west, we're just going a little bit outside of it. So you don't want to max out your circle. You want to give yourself a few centimeters either side. So for example, on this paper, I'm going to do a radius of about 7 centimeters. Okay. And this is A4 paper. So if I just write that down in case anybody wants that extra information, A4 paper, 7 centimeters. radius. Okay, so not anything bigger than that. Okay, all right. Well, let's go back. So we are going to tighten up this pen. It's being cheeky. And also I'm going to show you in a second how, we're drawing one iteration of this pattern, one kind of arrangement of it. But I'll show you how you can actually do a couple of things. And I don't want to jam pack these IGP sessions. I want you to have a nice outcome at gentle pace. Okay, so we've drawn our circle. Matchy matchy. I'm so amused by this book. It's so handy having it. And next, we're not changing our radius. We're going to put it on the left and on the right. And we're going to draw an arc. And this arc, my description of it is wider than the circle. So it's a semicircle, but it's wider than the original circle. So if you're not sure, just let it go off your page if you want. Okay. Now we are going to be purists and we are going to construct, which means use a compass and ruler to make the vertical. Okay. So we are drawing an 8-fold rosette. So we need to divide our space into 2 and then 4 and then 8 and actually 16. Okay, so the reason why 7 centimeters is such a good radius is we can use these 2 points, so these 2 points to get this intersection, and it should fit on your paper. So if I do an arc from one of them, so from there, and an arc from the other, this cross or this intersection lines up vertically with the center. And then we'll do the same at the bottom. It doesn't matter how long the arcs are, as long as they cross one another. And once we've got that, we can then join them up with our ruler. And this is where I start using my pencil, because put your point down first, push your ruler against it, do it, check that it's going to go through those points. And then once you're happy, there's a lot going outside. Sun's out, people out. There we go. All right. How are you doing? Because I don't know if you are drawing along with me or you are just watching. But if you are drawing along with me, please, let me know if I need to repeat anything, if you've got any side questions, anything like that. Anything that I can't answer in the moment, I'll just say so. But I don't want you not asking things if you need to. Okay? All right. So once we've done that, I'm a step ahead of my drawing. Vertical. We are now going to use the circle's north point, not that intersection. It had a job, it's done the job, goodbye. Okay, on the circle, north and south. Okay, so put your compass here. Now, essentially, you have not moved your compass at all, but your compass for an inanimate object, it has its tendency to wibble. So just check that it's touching the middle and then swing it up to the left and to the right to create these intersections. Oh my God, I chose such a dodgy pen. Okay, let's see if I can do it nicely. Thank you, Maria Claudia. You're drawing along. Cool. It's a lovely pattern. And you know what? For a long time, I was like, there's so many patterns out there. I don't want to give this one repeated attention when there's literally, tens of hundreds of patterns. So I actually haven't taught it in such a long time, like a really long time. But there's an account. He's like a really cool plaster decorator, designer. Let me see if I can find the name, because I mentioned it, but I didn't mention it. Okay, it's called Platre_Ziad. Like 258,000 followers. I'll just show you. This is the account. Okay. And they're really cool things that he does. But when he did the construction of this, it was very peculiar. He did the shortcut. So I was like, oh my goodness, people are really liking this and really enjoying it. And he had posted loads of versions of them. I think he's just literally posts lots and lots. But whenever he posted it, I was like, it's getting really popular. Maybe lots of people are intrigued by this pattern, but I don't want them to be intrigued by the wrong construction. And can I just say, artists love to sort of have this line that it's not wrong, there's no such wrong as wrong. And I agree with that in an artistic context. But when it comes to geometry and the intelligent design behind it is really important. So I do think it's important to recognize that this subject that we're dealing with is not just a purely creative endeavor. It's got these elements of mathematics, exactitude, geometric proportions, and harmony. Lecture over. Annette, thank you. You're drawing along or trying to. Oh, you as well. Also, good. All right. I will talk a lot in between because that gives you a chance to catch up. So once you've got this situation in front of you, you literally have all the information you need to draw the diagonals. So your space, which is currently divided into 4, will then be divided to 8. And you can also draw a square. And if you were to tile this pattern, okay, then this square becomes your repeat unit. So I'm going to show you how we distinguish that. And you can have a go if you so wish. I'm sort of mentally planning next month's draw sort of IGP session, and it might be a continuity of what we do here. So we'll see. Okay, so that's our diagonals done. So our space is now divided into 8. And the thing which happens again and again with the geometric patterns is, say your pattern has 6-fold symmetry, especially rosettes, you need to divide your circle into double that. Okay, so what did I just say? 6, so it'll be 12. If it has 12, you need to make it 24. If it has 10, you need to make it 20 divisions. So this is one of the things that's really important in when you're looking at a pattern. You do need to literally just count the symmetry. How many petals are there? How many points does a star have? And so on. And look around, because is it the same for all the stars and all the patterns, or is there something else going on? Also, once you find that central star, it's good to kind of look at the distance between the central stars, because often, so if we look at this pattern, where are you? Where are you? I'm just going to show you this one. So if you look at this pattern, there's a star and there's a star. They're above and below and adjacent to each other. Okay? Gives you a sense of squareness. But the distance between them is a star, a petal, and then a star. Sometimes if you visualize the patterns being pulled apart, there's a lot more space in between, and therefore the opportunity for a lot more complexity. So some of the more complex patterns, the stars are further apart, and there's a lot more complexity in between. I don't really dabble in the super complex patterns. I love hanging around, loitering with the intermediate patterns. What's ID for meeting? We're in the meeting, Hatem. What are you saying? Okay. All right. Next, we are going to draw 2 things, a square and then another square. So in case you're not familiar with the names for these squares and their orientation, what we're about to draw is a static square. I'm just going to look ahead because I often do it the other way around. Oh, yeah. And this is static. And if we couple it with a square that's standing on its point, a dynamic square, it gives you one of the machine. So many words are coming out of my mouth that make no sense. Gives you a common 8-pointed star. So this 8-pointed star, it's not part of this pattern in a big way. It is at the center and it is helping with our construction. The reason why I hesitated a little just now is because I was surprised I did this one, because normally I do it a bit differently. Okay, it's fine. But let me locate the points for you. So we are looking for the diagonal hitting the circle. There's some logic, I'm sure. So these 4 points, they should line up with each other horizontally and vertically. And so we don't need to go all the way out. I'm rebelling against my own drawing, but I'm going to stick to it. Horizontally and then vertically. Okay. And so, if we've drawn the static, we're now going to draw the dynamic. So let me just pick it out, and then I'm going to pause after this to just check you're okay. And there we go. So this to this to this to this is our dynamic square. Now, in this instance, the information we need is already actually in the drawing. And you'll see in a second, me and my excessive lines. So if I was to refine this drawing, as I did in like one of my sketches earlier today, I would potentially skip a few lines or just draw them more minimally. So as you get more and more experience, you are often seeking the most elegant construction. Okay. All right. How is everyone doing? Let me have a little sip of my drink. Hopefully you're fine. Sure? Okay. Nobody's not fine, which is fine. Okay, so once we've done this, we have now got enough information. Thank you, ladies, for dividing our space into 8. And this is the beauty of this 8-pointed star, because if you look for where they cross each other, my drawings, can I just say, they're always really boldly labeled because I want you to be able to see it. So you don't have to do this on your paper as boldly as me, but I do want you to be able to see what points I'm picking out. Okay, so these 8 points, they come from the intersection of these 2 squares. You will also notice it's the cutting the petal. So where this line and where this line cross each other, it also chops the petal in half. That's why I was like, oh, did I need to do the second square? But yeah, I did it. And I'm going to do these divisions in a different color just to kind of show you something super important that's going to happen in a sec. Now, when you draw these lines, it's really important that you go all the way to the edge of the square and try as much as you can to make sure they go through the center. This is such a test of your accuracy, dare I say inaccuracy, when things don't quite line up. Okay, so let's see if we can maximize our accuracy. But if it is inaccurate, what do? You go again. You try again and again and again. I saw somebody else saying, like, these are the tools you need for watercolor painting. And then the final thing she said, the biggest tool you need is practice. So, it's not about the pencil, the paper, anything like that. The animations I made recently on Instagram, somebody asked, as they always do on YouTube, what software did you use? Now, I was a teacher for 12 years. We use PowerPoint. I can do shed loads of things in PowerPoint. None of the new things, all the old stuff. And one of them is animation. So I am really quick with it. And so when I started doing these things, I then made animations in PowerPoint. So it's not the fact that PowerPoint is your tool for animation. No way, not in 2025 would anyone think or use PowerPoint for animation. There's tons of brilliant things out there. Do I know how to use them? No. Do I have to use PowerPoint? Yes, I do. Am I quick at it? Yes, I am. Can I make it do things that are a bit unexpected, make people think there's fancy software? Yeah. So yeah, it's just one of those things that is about, what the person does with the tools. And for you, when you're learning to draw, it's about practice, practice, practice. Okay, guys, we're coming to the most important thing. This circle here is super, super, super important because it dictates everything. It dictates everything. It's the circle that will contain the star. And once you have a head shift that, the rosettes that you see, not just in this family, but in 10-fold and 12-fold, when you realize that the stars between, super important, in giving the shapes the proportion, it's a really good shift. And then you start looking at them rather than just looking at the beautiful design. It's so funny. I asked on Instagram to go, which one do you prefer, the wrong one or the right one, A or B? And a few people like the wrong one. I was like, oh my God, my work is not done. So how do we find this circle? This circle, its center is on the bottom of the square or the top of the square. It can be in all these places. So you could put this circle here, 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 here. It can go in all of these places that I'm circling, but you only need it in one place. Okay, and it has to fit precisely such that it touches either side, the vertical there and the diagonal there. Whoa, nice drawing, Samira. Mm. So once you've got it perfectly fitting in that space, your job is done. Okay, so can you see I centered it here? So I'm going to put a little note, C for center, and it's just touching there and just touching there. Now you may find yours is not. I have found mine has not in some of the time as well. So yeah, it's just a case of this an inaccuracy in your drawing. So you have to just kind of try to go with it as much as you can, follow the process through, and then just try again. Practice, practice, practice. There's so many elements that impact your accuracy. The tools you use, your eyesight, your hand-eye coordination, your familiarity, your dexterity, the lighting, the mood you're in. So just bear all of that in mind. Have we got our circle? I'm going to pause on this one a little bit longer. I'll just show you the next one. Mine is touching both sides. Rumi, well done. Feels so satisfying when it works. And it is almost heartbreaking when you're like, you literally tried your best up to that point and it doesn't fit. It's like, what? Really? I'm trying my hardest. Thumbs up. Okay. All right. Next thing we need to do is notice how this small circle is now being touched by a larger circle with its center on the radius. So we are adjusting our radiuses to do this. So let's see if I can open it up. Okay, so I want it to touch the small circle, okay? And if I'm happy that it does, it's drawn. Now there's a really lovely little thing to notice here. This circle sits just inside the octagon that comes from the overlap. Yeah, yeah. So this tiny change in size is important because the people who are being taught how to construct it the wrong way are using those 8 points. And it's only a tiny bit away from the points we're going to use, but it has such an impact. Just a little bit smaller, and huge impact. So this is us practically ready for drawing, but not quite. Let's see. How are you doing? I keep asking, how are you doing? But we don't need our compass. I'm going to just set one on the side. And I'm going to put the lids on pens because it's not good to not put your lids on pens. Now, I'm going to show you something before we do what we do next. In my other sketchbook. And I want to show you the choice we're making now. Here's another sketchbook you might like. It's by Cardi Papers. And it's got lots in it. Shall I do a flick through? Go on. Okay, let's start at the beginning. Because every time I flick through my sketchbook, people like it. So it's got things that I've done in IGP101. It's got things that I've taught in my Patreon. And it's got some things that were successful, some things that were experimental, some maths, some underlying grids, one of my favorite pages. This is I did in workshop week. This has gone a bit wrong, but it's okay, guys. This was the month of pattern, and this is this today. So when you have this eightfold rosette, remember I said it can be the same rosette in slightly different contexts. So what we're going to do is a single rosette, and these are no longer stars. These are called stellated. Is requesting to record their computer. No, sorry. Basically, this is recording anyway, so it will be fine. So these petals, when they are, if you can see, 1, 2, 3 points of a star, okay, they kind of look like they're pokey out bits. And this is called a stellated rosette. So you have a central star, you have kites, you have the petals, and then you have something beyond that are spikes almost. And these are the stellated part. And if you look at them, it's one square and another square. So it's like your static square and your dynamic square, but just off center. Now, if you wanted to see those stars that I keep waffling on about, there is a construction where you can just have a quarter rosette, and then you can see the stars. Okay. But if you want to tile it, it's like the square that we drew. That's where you trim it to. You don't go beyond that. And that's where you can then draw or tile or trace and repeat. And that's when you get the stars in between. Here's the wrong and the right next to each other. This is what I shared today on the old Instagram. And can I just say, this is me covering up what we're doing next month. Okay. So, just so you know, we're not tiling it. We're just getting familiar with it. And in fact, what we'll probably do next month is tile it. We'll see. So, to do that, Garima, I always love seeing artist sketchbook. Me too. Me too. I love it, love it, love it. It's such a nice thing. Okay, so what we need to do... Oh, wait, this is a bit different to what I've drawn. Let me just check. I was going to do it differently. I'm going to just check one more thing. I did it so differently today. I'm making a decision here, guys, so bear with me because I want to decide which one I'm going to do. Do I do this one? Yeah, I'm going to do this one. Yeah, so I'm not going to follow my little sketch anymore because I want it to be a particular way. So we're going to follow this chaotic thing on the left. But let's see. So yeah, I have to abandon one. It's so funny. Like, you know, there's slightly different ways you can draw something, and I just spotted it. Okay, so what we're going to do to replicate this on the left, we are going to concentrate on the very first original circle that we drew. And you might have circled these 8 points because we have used them before. So we're going to circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. They are the north, east, south, west. And they are also the corners of the dynamic square and the corners of the static square. And what we're going to do, and we're going to do this in pencil, or like I'm doing in pencil, you can see, but we'll outline it in a second, and you can erase anything you don't want. But we are going to draw a line that's connecting each one to the one that's adjacent to it. Okay? And when we do that, we're going to go beyond. So this is what I said about drawing beyond your drawing. So something like that. Okay? So connect the ones that are adjacent to each other, but go beyond. And in a second, maybe on your third line, there you go, you'll see how they start meeting. So connect each one to the one next, but don't stop your line in the square. Let go beyond. Okay? And as long as you do that principle, all will be well, because they'll start meeting each other. We are 8 lines away from the pattern once we've done this. So, good job. Okay? One more. And what you find is you've got your 8 stellations, but you don't have your petals yet. So the most important thing following this, we're going to draw now. So these are parallel lines, a vertical pair, a horizontal pair, diagonal in one direction, diagonal in the other direction. How do we know where to draw them? We use this inner circle. So I'm going to actually use a highlighter, see if it shows up a bit, because we are going to use the point just inside the purple ones that I've got. So just try to make sure you don't pick one of the other points. The highlight is becoming smudgy. How weird is that? But those 8 points we are going to draw. Now, I'm also going to suggest that I commit to drawing this in pen. Okay? Is the final result the exact same in this new method and the one that you abandoned? Do you know what it is? It's just a one slightly different orientation. I'll put them side by side so you can see. But yeah, they're basically the very same thing, but one is like this and one's like that. So I just wanted to not do something a bit annoying on that one. So this one, the reason why I'm doing this is because this tiles, that one does not. Well, we'll check it, but it doesn't. Okay, I say that and then I doubt myself. So I'm getting now my black pen, guys. Serious business. Okay, so we are going to draw our vertical lines. There was a time when I used to just draw all the lines and then pick out the pattern later. But I want us to draw these 8 lines thoughtfully. Like we've got 20 minutes. We're fine. So take your time. So what we need to do is line up our ruler with this point and this point. Either side of the vertical will be our parallel lines. Okay. Once you've got that, you are going to draw a line, a gap, and a line. So we need to determine where to start and where to stop. Okay. We're going to start on the lines that we just drew. So we're going to start there, go into the circle, 1 division. Can you see this is 1 division? And then stop at the 2nd division. Okay. And the same on this side. So that line that I just drew a moment ago, start there, go into the circle, stop at the 2nd division. So if I just pull it to the side a little, perhaps zoom in a little. That's a terrible noise. Let's see if I can put this underneath a bit. I want you to be able to see as much of it as you can. So can you see how it starts on the line that we just drew, goes into the circle, crosses 1 line, stops at the next. Now, if I'm going on about being parallel, it'd be nice for me to really look through my ruler to see if it's parallel to everything underneath. So that and that is what I'm lining up. So that positions the ruler. And then I'm going to, this and this is what I'm lining up. Made a boo-boo nearly. Imagine after all of that. Start on that line, go in, go through, stop. And then on this side, start at the red line and stop. If you ever go too far or don't stop in time, hopefully you're drawing in pencil. So it makes it easy for you to rectify. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same vertically, horizontally, diagonally. And this is the beauty of these geometric patterns, that repetition, because you're doing the same thing. So the first time you're doing it, let's say it takes you a minute, then it'll take you maybe a little bit shorter. By the time you do the last one, it's very familiar to you. Another thing you do is rotate your paper so that you do the same orientation. And that's kind of the power of symmetry. So we're going to start on that line, one of the last lines we drew, come to the circle, go into the circle, and then stop on the 2nd line. The same on this side. Can you see the beginnings of an 8-pointed star? Now I'm going to do the same at the bottom. Start at that red line, come into the circle, through 1 line, stop at the other. Come into the circle. And there's a certain symmetry that's even occurring here. And what's really annoying, actually, is a lot of the times when you're doing this stage, it doesn't look right. Like it literally doesn't look right. So therefore, you have to just trust that I've got to do it 8 times. But if you can see that this and this, it looks the same. So now if I do it this way, it's the same. But I don't want to rotate it because I think it can get annoying. But yeah, how are we doing? Let me take a sip of my drink. Okay, I think you're all right, guys. We'll find out. If anybody has drawn along with me and has a drawing they want to show me, please do ask or show me at the end. We love a little hold 'em up. And also, if anybody wants to ask anything, feel free. Okay, just wait a sec. Ilsa, happy to. I'm just going to position the ruler, but I'm not going to draw anything. So just recap. You're going through parallel pairs of lines, and that distance between them will result in an evenness at the center, and you'll end up with another 8-pointed star. So when you do the diagonals, you're reusing a point you've already used. So there was a vertical line coming through it, and now there'll be a diagonal line. And that distance hopefully is familiar. So because it's different when you're looking at it diagonally, it's the same principle. You start on the red line, go to the circle, go into the circle, past 1, and then stop at the next. And I always do this kind of coming in and then coming in. I don't want to do one continuous line because it might interrupt my flow. Okay? And then we'll do the same on the other side. So looking for that line. And you know, you can maybe see the symmetry. These two are symmetrical. These two are symmetrical. Guys, we're coming to the end. And we're going to do the same in the diagonal in the other direction. So a point I've already used on that inner circle, a point I've already used on the inner circle, lining it up, starting at the red line just beyond, and you'll start seeing now the 8-pointed star. Now, if anyone is quietly thinking, oh my God, I can't keep up, this is too fast, that's the joy of a recording. Just watching that first time is perfectly a good idea. Okay? And look, I made a mistake here, by the way. We'll see. Darn it. Okay, so you currently, if you're at the same stage as me, you have an 8-pointed star, the central star. You have the kites, but you don't quite have the petals. And the way we're going to get our petals is by completing the petals and the stellation. So if I just show you one of the complete, oh, it's just here. That was funny. I was about to dive and find another one. So let's just have a look at the journey of one of these lines. So it's a line, tiny gap, and a line. So this hopefully should be a little bit easier because so much of the information is there. That gap is that triangle. So where that line makes a corner, you go in towards that V in the middle and you draw it. Okay. And you just do that for all 8 of the lines. Go into the middle where that V is and then leave that gap for that V. How are we doing, by the way? Oh my God, we're doing it. I'm so pleased we're drawing it. It's party central outside, guys. You probably think I'm like just making up, but literally there's people singing along to music, karaoke. So it's done. Now, while you finish yours off, I'm going to color mine in because I want to just pick out some of the shapes. So the stellation, I'm coloring in first because that's the one that I made a mistake in. Whoa, and it's so luminous in this kind of low light, but that's fine. So you'll color it in a lot more beautifully, I hope. Wow. I'm shocked at my own coloring, but it's okay. You know, when you're teaching, one of the great joys is when people create something from what you've taught. It kind of is like you get a little bit of the joy from that as well because you don't have to make the perfect stuff yourself. Other people can do that. It's so luminous. Are you really streaming from a tent in Glastonbury? Do you know what? It feels like Glastonbury is next door. Unless Glastonbury is in Northolt. I don't know. So yeah, like notoriously, I feel like Fridays for some people is such a like exhale moment. So yeah, it's definitely on my street today. I've got as far as the middle start and now I'm lost. Annette, do you know what I'd suggest? Just pause a sec and we'll kind of see if we can have a look and I can help. And if I can, brilliant. If I can't, then just wait for the recording. It's a lot to take in. And I hope that, you know, when I share all the mistakes I made when I first started, that kind of helps and reassures that it's perfectly like part of the process to not really be able to see everything clearly. Whoa, it's so luminous. I'm proud of the luminosity of a highlighter pen that I've had for ages, but only finally decided to use in the last recent months. What I can't get over is how many people are singing. Maybe it's Glastonbury next door. So we have this beautiful, what you call it, stellated 8-pointed rosette. Just to see if I can help Annette and Ilsa. So you did your verticals, maybe your horizontals, and then your diagonals is using the same points. So they've been used once already. You'll do it one direction and the other direction. And then if you've got your middle star, that's brilliant because then all you've got to do is do this outside line. And it just is a gap in the middle each time. So you can see it here. Whoa. There to there and then a gap in the middle. There to there, gap in the middle. So for these last 8 lines that I drew, they were on top of those lines. Okay? All right, let me just see if I can zoom out. And just to do the comparison between what I did earlier and abandoned so dramatically. Yeah, the gap is the triangle in it. Nice. Gap the triangle. Okay, so why did I pause on this one? Okay, the reason being, right now they look the same, especially if I put it like that. But what I was kind of annoyed by, I guess, is, you know, the tile, that square, I'm not using it. And what I wanted to show you, if I get out another drawing, is the fact that you can tile this pattern. So if I look at, so for example, this, so you just drew this, right? If you then traced just what's inside the square, you'll end up with this. Okay, so can you see you've chopped off some of the star? Okay, and can you see how this rosette is sitting on its point, and here this kind of standing on 2 points? So if we do that comparison, so the reason I abandoned this, as beautiful as it looks, if I wanted to tile the pattern, it has to be in this orientation. And it's when I tile it, not like this, that's not tiled version, that's when you end up with the kind of the repeating beauty of the patterns. 1, 2, 3, 4. And tiled, even the wrong ones look right. So many people were like, I like A. And I'm like, ah. They didn't say it like that. They said it in a nice voice. Okay? All right. So hopefully, let's put this aside. You have something like this for you to decorate and enjoy and cherish. And if you have, I'm going to show you how you can actually turn it into a tracing of a square. These 4 corners are the corners of the square, and then use that square to repeat it 4 times. Okay? If you are interested in that, that will be probably what I'm doing in IGP next month. So it'll be like a quick recap of this, the quickest, and then we'll trace it. Okay? All right. Let me see what you guys have been up to. Hello, it's me. Hi, it's me. I'm the one. I'm trying to look for, if anybody wants to switch their camera on, please feel free. Oh, hello, there's loads of you. Please feel free. And if you want to show anything, let me know. Yeah, feel free to unmute yourself and show anything if you'd like to. I'm happy to see what you've been up to. Or just look into the camera and look weird. But yeah, any questions or anything, please do ask. And this pattern is one of the ones I taught or teach in my beginner's course. I need to figure out how to do discount codes on it because I tell you, I don't know how. Oh, Ilsa, may I spotlight you? You might have to change your setting so that it's not blurring the backgrounds, or just cover your face. It's really traumatic, but it will, always pick out your face. Oh, I can see your picture. Okay. It's all there. So you were stuck on the diagonals. I can see your diagonals. I can see everything. Brilliant. 10 out of 10 star pupil. Good job. Thank you very much, Ilsa. Okay. All right. Let's see what we've got in the chats. Farah, thank you for the instruction. When will the recording be available? I always share it the next day at 10 o'clock.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much, Samira, for your help. I want to share, I don't know if you could see this, but this is,
let me see.
I still have a lot of work to do, so I think I need to use different color pencils to figure out, because I did 2 sets of the lines going up and down, but I didn't do the diagonals. But what I want to show you is the power of forgetting things, because muscle memory and constantly doing this. So I took Hoja Serap's class the last one she did with the geometric, what is it, level 1 and 2, and I was able to draw this at that time. I have no idea how but I'm excited to practice so that I can remember, because it was kind of what you were saying. So I think
I was the same. I just assumed I would remember. And then,
Yeah.
you look at that, you think, I made that. Like, that's a beautiful artwork. And you're like, but how did I get that?
I know, I know. So I think I need to keep practicing. But thank you so much for giving us a
You're
refresher.
very welcome. Really nice to see the artwork, and you'll definitely be able to figure out the one that you've just drawn as well. Thank you so much, Farah. Okay, I can see Maria and I can see Annette, so I'll come to Maria first. Hello. Perfection. Look at you with your notes. Very good. I never used to do that. I was terrible. Brilliant work. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I feel like it's just going to be your artwork. I'm never going to see your face. Can we pop to see your face a little bit? Hi.
Here.
Thanks, Maria.
Thank you.
Bye. Annette, I'm coming to you. Oh, I'm curious because I knew you were stuck a minute ago. So,
I think I got this bottom part where it's supposed to be.
yeah,
This
it's
where I'm
correct.
headed, but I'm losing it here. So when I get the recording,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it
I'm
again
just going to
because
say what you've just drawn, that little like three-pointed shape, there's 8 of them. You could even just try to pick 8 of them out by coloring them in because 2 of them are perfect right now on your page. So
yeah, I
just have
haven't
a look
drawn
at
the
it.
other ones because I can't see them, but I think you're right. I'm gonna color it
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
and then
you
I'll
will be able
try
to
it
see them because
again.
I actually can see them. They're there. They're all there. So yeah,
Oh,
you've
good.
done a great job. It's just
Thank you. This was
you need
fun.
to be able to see it. Good. I'm
I,
glad. Thank you, Annette.
thank you.
I like knowing that I can see it. Garima, this was your first session I attended, and I had lots of fun. Thank you for this. You are very welcome. Anybody else want to show anything? Oh, some people have left. No, joking. All right. We're kind of coming to an end. Now, if you do like what I do, there's a couple of ways you can kind of learn more. So I'll always try to do stuff for free on IGP101 and it will then end up on YouTube. So this is my kill 2 birds with 1 stone thing whereby I want to make sure I don't neglect YouTube because I think it's a really powerful thing. They can do things longer on it and not like clippy clips like you get on the rest of social media. Can I just say I'm going to talk with this in my hand because some of you might want to see what's going on. Wow, you can't actually see it. It cannot compute. Wait, let me hold this one instead. There we go. So basically, I just hold this because I think some of you might be not wanting to see my face. There we go. So yeah, so I will always have something free. Definitely. And also, if you do want to kind of dig deeper into patterns that might feel like they're the kind you are interested in, I've got a shop. So it's literally linked on my website, but it's miramian.shop. Really cool. And because you are a Patreon friend, a pal, you get an extra, I think, 20% off. I think the only time I did a bigger discount than that was Eid, and it got lots of discounts on there. But yeah, you are more than welcome to just pick the patterns you're interested in. I've even got some on there that are beginner friendly because I just thought maybe some of you, wait, I'll put it down. Suada, thank you for this relaxing and important lecture, Samira. Enjoyed it. Oh, thank you. And oh, Suada's a talent now. Sarah Beth, thanks, Samira. Great end to a Friday. You're going to go karaoke with Glastonbury crowd. But yeah, no, I really enjoy it. And if you have any suggestions or requests or questions, please do like send them my way. I can't, like guarantee that there'll be something I can do, but over the years, what people have asked for and been interested in, it plays a big part in dictating the direction I go in. I can literally count, many occasions where somebody says, "Why don't you do this? How comes that can't they don't have that voice, by the way." But yeah, so it does really help. So your interest in this and the guidance you're after and what you're wanting to do, I will try my best. But yeah, thank you for joining. And Sarah, thanks so much. Samira followed along and managed to get there in the end. Want to show me? Want to show me? You don't have to. You can say no. But if you do want to show me, cool. It's our last minute. We managed to do that in an hour. So yeah, this recording will be uploaded onto Patreon tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be on YouTube that quick. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I feel like there should be a delay and exclusivity to you guys in Patreon. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. Have a lovely weekend. And if you do create anything, tag me. Thank you, M.E. Castellanos Buena. And thank you, Annette, as well. Goodbye, everybody. Have a lovely weekend. Thank you. Bye.